The first act delay pedal is a simple delay pedal that does what it's supposed to and sounds better than people's preconceptions let them think. It's built in a sturdy plastic Boss-style enclosure, though I may be wrong and have heard that it may be made of metal. It is active bypass switching, and I believe it's some sort of buffered based on the components I saw when I opened the back. It is optionally 9V DC powered or 9V battery powered. This pedal is off the market and fairly rare. Currently, I only see one listing for this pedal. It's on Reverb and listed for $300, marked down from $350 plus $10 shipping. Even though it's really tempting, I'm not going to shame this guy, but he kind of deserves it. This pedal may be rare, but it's not $300 rare. Unfortunately, I have only seen one listing before this one, and that was the one I picked up, so I can't give you an average price. If you really need this pedal, I suggest keeping an eye out on multiple resale platforms. Hello everyone, and today we're going to be talking about the first act delay pedal. Sorry if some things are messed up, I'm trying a bunch of new things. It's been a while since I've done a pedal demo video, so I'm a little bit rusty. Though I did just try and record this video with my new laptop and it went to sleep, so I lost a bunch of the recording, so I have to start over. That being said, I also am trying a new recording style with my microphones. I have a close mic on the amplifier. I also have a sort of room mic pointed toward the amplifier with a condenser microphone, and I have a shotgun microphone plugged into the camera right over here, so things may get a little quieter or weirder or echoey when I go and when I go and change controls on the pedal and I'm talking, which I shouldn't do that probably, but I also want to test out and see how it handles it. So bear with me. I don't expect this video to be very popular, but this pedal is actually really good, especially for what it is and would be perceived as. So there should be timestamps, so if you want to skip ahead and hear other things and you don't care. But right now I want to talk a little bit about First Act and what they were, because some newer guitarists might not actually know what First Act is. First Act was, because they're still in business, but they're not in their heyday anymore. They were a company, they still are, they're a company that's trying to introduce kids into music, or not even, usually their target market was kids, but, you know, introducing people to music with the lowest barrier to entry. So they're trying to make affordable instruments, and unfortunately, affordable instruments are hard to make, at least they were, especially back when they were still actually doing it well. They still are to a certain degree, but the company was bought by a company I think called Jazzware or something like that, and they don't even care about the brand, I don't think. And I think they make a couple guitars that are cheapo baby parlor guitars, probably not any good, I don't know. And I think they make some flutes. I don't really exactly remember. I think the majority of what they do is a lot more band stuff, like orchestra band. Anyway, the First Act used to be actually a decent brand. They worked with Adam Levine. I forgot who that is. I'll put the band up. But they actually worked with Adam Levine. They put his 222 logo on a couple guitars, and I believe the Distortion pedal of the same series that we're looking at here, even though people did not like the Distortion pedal. But yeah, and then these pedals were available apparently at Walmarts and Targets, apparently in the blister plastic packs for $20 or $10 at one point. And God, I think I was alive at the time, but I never saw anything like that when I was in our Walmart. But I also lived in a small town in Wisconsin, so yeah. With all that out of the way, I might have forgotten some things because I'm not in the right flow anymore now that I had to start the video over. We're still recording, so at least there's that. Let's get into the pedal. So we're on our clean channel. We have the reverb turned off. We're in standby using a Stratocaster style guitar. It is a cheapo one that I wanted at the fair, but it sounds pretty good, though some intonation might be a little off. But yeah, I've had this for a while and I really like it, obviously. We're in a Boss Katana 2x12 combo amp. I did not pay full price for it. And let's get some tones going. So, this is our clean channel. So, we have everything set to noon on the delay pedal, and let's just see how that sounds. So, like I said, it's a good delay for what it is. It's not anything special. It's literally just every other delay. At least that uses the P23899, something like that. It's a very classic delay chip that I think was in karaoke machines, but a lot of pedals have used it, and a lot of loved pedals have used it, and this is just another delay pedal. But I don't get to experiment with delay very much, so I've been really loving and just playing around with it. One thing to pay attention is if you like the tone of the actual delays, because there is no tone of any sort on the pedal. I don't think it really matters to more beginner players or beginner tone listening players like me, because I haven't experimented with many delays. I don't really know the difference in delay tones, but I was watching some videos and apparently that's a thing. So yeah, it's if you really care, you have to pay attention to that, but I suggest just listening. It's also, these pedals are kind of hard to find, I think. Typically these don't show up very often. The chorus is a little more common. The distortions are all over the place, I think. But this delay I only saw in a random eBay post that had a combo of another pedal, but I didn't want that pedal. I wanted this because I had never seen it, and I was like, my mind was blown, and I found it just while looking on my phone while we were about to go into Walmart, ironically. I think, something like that, when I was out with my family doing errands. So yeah, I asked them to sell me this separately, and they did, luckily, so now I have it. Another thing to mention is that you can't see it on the pedal cam, but this is obviously a used pedal, you can't buy these new, but my pedal logo thing on the bottom, it kind of fell off. I don't know why it came that way in shipping, but yeah, I'll probably glue that back on at some point, but I just wanted to show that for the funny ha-has. Anyway, let's go back into the actual tone. So, let's explain what our controls do here. We first have level. Level just controls the volume of the delays. Luckily, it does not control the overall volume of the guitar. The chorus pedal did that for some reason, even when you're bypassing the effect. So that was quite a strange choice, but luckily we don't have that on here. Next is the time knob, and the time is the time in between delays. And then lastly we have delay, which is the amount of delays in the signal. So all very basic, like I've stated already. Let's turn the level all the way up and see how that sounds. So, it kind of can get pretty overpowering doing the full volume, especially if you have the other controls turned up a bit more. It might work better for slapback tones, but yeah, for this, it's a little overpowering. Tune again. I tuned up, but I think I might have gotten out of tune somehow. Okay, there we go. Super cool. So let's turn the level down now. Turning the level all the way down will ground out the signal for the delays, and you'll just have a dry signal of just your normal playing. So we're going to try and turn down the knob to 1 and see how that sounds. Okay, so it's extremely subtle on this setting. Let's turn it to 2. 2 puts it up at about the 9 o'clock position, I think. So, very subtle ambience. Like I said, there's no reverb going on right now other than anything that's happening in the pedal. So, very cool, very cool. Let's turn everything back to noon and get like a refresher on what that sounds like. Alright, so that's how it sounds at noon. Now we're going to mess with the time knob. So the time knob, like I said before, gonna change how much time is in between the repeats. So let's turn the time knob all the way up. This is usually how I think I prefer my delays, because I like to do a lot slower, plucky stuff. When I'm using delay, at least. It also, I kind of just naturally fall into the time with this setting. You got a nice little weird harmonic thing happening there that actually was a mistake, but it kind of worked out in that delay trail. So that was pretty cool. So now let's turn the time all the way down. Now once again, I think this kind of washes out, or not washes out, this kind of grounds out the signal, and you're just going to have kind of a dry signal. Let's try it. Ooh, actually no, I was wrong, because I think in my other clip, my first time trying, I said, yeah, it kind of does, but actually, it's kind of like doubling up right now. That's kind of interesting. Alright, I'm going to try this with the time with all the way down, and then I'm going to turn the delays all the way up and see what happens to that. Ooh. That's really interesting, huh? Okay, sorry about that. Had to take a break because things are happening outside the room, and the walls, of course, don't really block off sound very well. Seems like at least half of the houses in Arizona just suck ass. Anyway, so I might end up repeating things on accident, but oh well. So we left off on working with the time knob. I'm sure you know that. Let's do another thing. Let's do another round of everything at noon so that we get another palette cleanser before we move on to the delay knob. Okay, so we have that. Let's turn the delays all the way up. So you can get some pretty long trails going on with this, especially if you turn some of the other knobs up along with it. Let's turn down the delays and see what it sounds like. I believe this will give us just a slapback kind of delay with a single repeat, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this will give us like a single repeat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Very interesting sound. It's not really something I would use. I don't know. I don't get this tone. It's very unsatisfying to me. I feel like I need at least like 2 more repeats after that first one. So one thing I'm going to try is I'm going to put some of the time. I'm going to put the time all the way up with this single slapback. Let's see how that sounds. Alright, so, it's, like I said, kind of interesting, but I don't personally get it. If that would be what you want, okay. Unfortunately for me, I don't like that, but obviously I can change that as well. So, let's do an experiment where we turn all of the knobs up. This might get a little chaotic, but let's see. Maxed out level, maxed out time, delay from the bottom to the top. Bam! So, pretty interesting. It gets chaotic and kind of messy. Can't really hear what the hell is happening on the, when you're actually playing. When you're playing something new, you can't even hear it over the repeats for the most part. One thing to note is that this pedal is self-oscillating, so you can change the time while playing and it will make weird spaceship noises. Very interesting, fun sounds. Ooh, that's a cool one. Okay, so that was with the level all the way up, the delay all the way up, and the time set to about half, about noon. So that was pretty cool. So I think one thing I forgot to mention was that I have this pedal hooked up through the effects loop of the amplifier, and what that means is that I can use distortion through the amplifier and this pedal will come after the distortion rather than before it, which typically makes it a little bit easier for the delay to come through and not get absolutely destroyed and noise ridden, because if you had it before the distortion, the delay and the trails of the delay will all get distorted and whacked out, and typically it's not a fun time. So we're gonna try it with some distortion. So that's pretty cool sound, if I do say so myself. I think that was pretty cool. It's all I can say. I definitely think that it'd be beneficial to at least turn down the level a little bit. Let's turn that down to half. I turned the level down to half. I turned the time all the way up, and the delay is still all the way up. Let's see what we can do with that. right now we have this kind of dark ambient mesh that's happening. The delays are not very defined right now, which might actually help. It might actually help if we turn the level back up a little bit if we wanted to fix that. I don't know. It is it's like I don't know how the PT2399 chip is defined. I think it's considered an analog chip, so it is an analog delay. So it's not going to have perfect clarity on the repeats, basically no matter what, especially with the distortion. Digital delays are the ones that can get the absolute perfect ones because it's like digital sampling and then repeats like that. But anyway, one thing I want to try is that doubled up sound. I don't remember exactly how we got it though. I think it was time all the way down, delay all the way down, and then just for the sake of it, we're gonna put level all the way up. So it just has this weird, like, kind of like sound coming through like a tube sound. You know what I mean? Not like a guitar amplifier tube, but an actual physical tube. It just sounds like there's audio, like a speaker playing through a tube. Very interesting. I want to try that. I want to try that one with the delay all the way up and the time all the way down. Oof, that was hard. That was harsh. So this is really like, I don't know why, but it's like kind of like really boosting the high end, it seems like, which has been, you know, it's not really and in room, it's a bit of a harsh sound that's kind of agitating me. I don't know what it is about that really short time, but it really has that metallic sound, which kind of really like, you know, I was saying it before, but it kind of like really boosts that whole high-end thing happening. And it's an interesting sound, but it might not exactly meld with distortion, or at least not this much distortion. What we can try is my crunch channel. I haven't actually played the crunch channel very much though. It's not even that crunchy, what the hell? It's a little crunchier on the low end. That's probably it. Yeah, that's so weird. That weird tone. It's just, I don't know how to describe it more than I already have. Well, I think that for the most part we've demonstrated all that we can demonstrate with this pedal, other than, you know, some maybe more minor tones. But I think for the most part, you probably have the general idea of how this pedal would perform. I don't know, it's an interesting dilemma, because I think that this pedal can stand up to touring maybe not like 10 tours, but at least 1 or 2. To me, it seems like it's a better enclosure than the Behringer pedals that are out now, and the Behringer pedals are already pretty sturdy as is. It's an average delay, but it's just a really solid delay that does what a delay should, and you get a lot of different cool and interesting sounds out of it. It's just unfortunate that first act kind of went downhill and you can't get them anymore. Like I said, hopefully I said it, but these are kind of hard to find. At least they were for me. They pop up every once in a while, so you kind of have to keep your eye out, and especially if you're on different secondhand shopping forums. I believe I saw a listing out of the blue, which is kind of a pun, for the chorus of of this series of pedal, but yeah, I don't know. And like I said, the Distortion is like pretty much always available, but people have said that they do not like it and that it's not good. I really want to get my hands on one because I want to see if that's true, especially that I'm not as judgmental about tone, but it's kind of, distortions are, to me, it's not hard to mess up a distortion because I like a smooth distortion. So even distortions like the DS1 are not super my thing, but also there's lots of different discussions about the DS1. Anyway, yeah. So I definitely recommend this pedal if you can get one. I don't know how I would feel personally about putting it on my board. There are probably plenty of other delays that can do the same thing, especially that there's so many affordable brands doing delays now, which, you know, is somewhat of a good thing, could be seen as a bad thing. It's all opinions and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's a good thing for the most part. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and then consider subscribing. We are a music channel, but we do some other stuff here. I do guitar, but I also do drum-related stuff. We also have been doing quite a bit of 3D printing videos lately because I was having a lot of issues and I was making tutorial videos about trying to fix it. Unfortunately, mine wasn't fixed, but a lot of the fixes I discovered a lot of fixes that hopefully can help other people. And I do some other stuff here and there as well. I try and put some variety in. So if all that sounds good to you, consider subscribing. I would leave a link to where you could buy this pedal, but unfortunately, I don't think there is going to be one. There might be a reverb one. I'll do it if I can. I might try and link you to some alternatives, but like I said, I haven't gotten to experience many delays, so any recommendations I make will be based off of other reviews I've seen. Anyway, that's all I have to say, so I'm gonna say bye-bye.